Hi everyone, it's me, Spring the Fiber Enthusiast, and welcome to the channel. Today is this shawl, and it's a crocheted shawl. And for the original, I used some mandala by Lion Brand that I had sitting on the shelf, and it says that it is a 3-weight, so it's a really heavy 3-weight. It's more of a 4, and that the colorway was tartan, and it says that it has 415 yards. Now for that very large shawl, I used 2 cakes, so 830 yards. Now I'm going to go through the repeat. It was repeated twice. I am going to alternate colors between these two to show you the different repeats. So it is constructed of the granny stitch and a couple other stitches along the way. So in the granny stitch, I will do the purple, and the opposite, I will do this pink color. Now this is Fable by Premier, and it is a 3-weight as well. And let's see, it has 295, yards. And it's 80% polyester and 20% anti-pilling acrylic. Now I'm not going to make a whole nother one in these colors, but I do want to go through the repeats with you with this. All right, so I will be using a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. I also will need a stitch marker, a darning needle to sew in your ends, and a pair of scissors. Now, the granny stitch, from my understanding, is the stitch for 2025. So it's come around again, kind of like bell bottoms. So we're going to go ahead and begin with the purple here. And the actual color of this, if you're wondering, is, let's see, Mermaid, Little Mermaid. Sorry, the color is Little Mermaid. So, hey, if you're interested in finding it and this color, you are welcome to go hunt down Little Mermaid Premier Fable. Super soft yarn. I'm not sure if it's still in the making. I did not look before I went and started this video, but I love my Premier. And if you're interested in checking out different Premier and potentially buying it, you can use the affiliate link of mine down below, and it doesn't cost you anything. It just sends a few cents my way if you purchase anything, but by no means feel obligated to use it. All right, so I'm going to start with a chain of 4. You can use your magic circle if you wish. I'm going to slip stitch to that very first chain, and we're just going to create a ring. And I'm going to work over the tail. Now I'm going to do a mock double crochet for my starting double crochets. You can do the chain of 3 or chain of 2 or chain 1 and double crochet. However you start a row with double crochets, feel free to do so. But I'm going to go real slow on this very first one and show you how I do it. So I'm going to zoom in for this shot. All right, so I pull up a loop about the height of a double crochet, and I place my finger on that loop, and I'm holding it tight enough that it doesn't slip around, but I can slide it back and forth. So I'm going to bring my hook towards me, down and under, giving the appearance of 2 loops on my hook. So the one I'm holding and the one I just made. Now I'm going to bring my hook up and into that ring yarn over and pull up a loop. So now I have 3 loops like a double crochet. I'm going to yarn over and go through 2 and yarn over and go through those last 2. Now that loop you were holding is the top of your mock double crochet, and you're going to place a stitch marker into that stitch. Now we're just simply going to work a granny, which is 2 more double crochets. So there's 1 and 2. And now we're going to create a point to our shawl. 1, 2, 3 chains. And now we're going to work another granny stitch. So 3 more double crochets into that ring. And I'm just working over my tail so that way I can use it to cinch down right here. And then I can sew in the rest. All right, I'm going to zoom back out. We're going to work on row 2. We're going to begin with a granny in this very first stitch. So that is 3 double crochets. However you start your row, go for it. I'm going to place a mock double crochet and 2 more double crochets. Now I could place a stitch marker into the top of that first stitch if I so choose. But now we're going to chain 1 and 2. And we're going to hop over to this chain 3 space and create yet another point, another corner. So we're going to place a granny of 3 doubles. Chain 3. And 3 more doubles, all into that chain 3 space. Now we're going to chain 1, 2, and we're going to hop over to that last stitch where our stitch marker is and place a granny into that stitch. So 3 doubles into that last stitch of the row. All right, so that is row 2 complete. Now we're going to work row 3 together, and you will do 4 and 5 on your own. So I'm going to start with a granny in the first stitch. So 3 double crochets into the first stitch. Get a little bit more yarn here. Replace my stitch marker. All right, now we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and we're going to hop over to our chain 2 space and place another granny. So that's 1, 2, and 3 double crochets into that chain 2 space. Now chain 2, and we're going to hop down here to the chain 3 space and create another point. So a granny of 3 double crochets, then a chain 3, and another granny of 3 double crochets, all into that chain 3 space. Now chain 2, and hop over to your chain 2 space and place another granny of 3 double crochets. Now chain 2, And we're going to jump over to our very last stitch and place a granny in the top of that stitch. So that is 3 double crochets into the last stitch. And now you're going to repeat that row for row 4 and row 5 the same way, placing grannies into the chain 2 and doing your point down here of 2 grannies and a chain 3 in between. Chain 2s on the side, chain 3s for your point. Go ahead and complete rows 4 and 5, and I'll meet back up with you, and we will continue on with the next step. There we go. Now you're going to place 1/2 double crochet in all the stitches to the point. So 1 in the next one, 1 in the next one, and you come to your chain 2. You're going to place 2 half double crochets into the chain 2 space, and then 1 into each of those 3 double crochets for your granny stitch. And we're just going to work a half double crochet all the way to that point. Just like that. Continue working that to the point, and I will meet up with you at our chain 3 space. All right, so we've worked our way all the way down to this chain 3, and we're going to place a half double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and another half double crochet into that same chain 3 space. All right, so we had 25 half double crochets. Then we have our corner, which is half double, chain 3, half double. And now we need to work 25 half double crochets up this side. Go ahead and continue that, and I'll meet up with you at the end. Please note that you place 3 half double crochets into your last stitch of the row to get you to 25 half double crochets. So there's 1, 2, and 3. All right. All right, as you see, it's becoming very deep already. This is a deep shawl. Next row, row 6, we're going to start like we're doing another granny row, but it's going to be a little different. So we're going to place 3 double crochets into that very first stitch. So a granny into the first stitch of row 6. There we go. All right. So now we're going to skip 1, 2, and we're going to go into the next one as if to create a double crochet, yarn over, go through 2. Yarn over and go back into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and yarn over, go through 2. One more time, yarn over, go back into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and go through 2. And now we're going to yarn over, go through all 4 loops that was on our hook. We're going to begin the repeat to the corner. You're going to chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip 1, and we're going to repeat that cluster stitch. So 3 halves of your double, leaving you with 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over and go through all 4. Chain 1, skip 1, and double crochet into the next. We're on repeat. Chain 1, skip 1, and do the cluster stitch one more time here. and then repeat. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next, and you're going to do that all the way down here to our point. I will meet up with you at that chain 3 space. All right, so I've ended with a cluster stitch and a chain 1. Now I'm going to jump into this chain 3 space with a double crochet, chain 3, and another double crochet, turning that corner. Now what you do to one side, you must do to the other. So now we need to chain 1 and skip over to the same stitch on the opposite side to begin our cluster. So we're skipping this one and hopping over here. And we're going to start with a cluster stitch, because that was the last stitch I created on the opposite side. And then you're going to go back into your repeat. You're going to chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip 1, and cluster stitch into the next. Repeating what we did on the first side over on the second side. All right, go ahead and continue, ending the same way you began with 3 double crochets into the last stitch, and I'll meet up with you at that point. I've come down to the last 3 stitches. I'm going to skip 2, no chaining. I'm just going to skip 2, and I'm going to place 3 double crochets into that last stitch. All right, now you do not have to do this if you're using a solid color. If you want to cut away from your one color, that's fine, and so in your ends. I am simply going to pull this up and work over the top of the purple all the way back around, because I need the purple on this side. So that way I can work the next section with you back in purple. But the next row is simply a half double crochet row. And as I said, I'm going to pull this up and I am going to work over the top of it. So I'm going to bring it up with me. And you do, like I said, you do not have to do this. This is just so that way I can have the purple over on the side that I need it on without cutting my yarn. All right, so we need to place 3 half double crochets into the first stitch. And I'm going to place that purple over here so that way I can work over the top of it. So chain 1 and 3 half double crochets into the first stitch. There's 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to place 1 half double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. So there's 1 and 2. And now I'm going to place 1 in between this stitch and this cluster stitch. So a half double crochet in between. Now we're going to work a half double crochet into the top of that cluster stitch. We're on repeat now. A half double crochet into the chain 1. Half double crochet into the top of that double crochet. Half double crochet into the chain 1. And half double crochet back into the top of your cluster stitch. And you're just going to work that same repeat all the way to the point of the shawl. And I'll meet up with you at that chain 3 space and show you how to work through the chain 3 space. We're just simply placing a half double crochet into every stitch, including the chain 1 spaces. All right, I'll meet up with you at the point. Once you come to your chain 3 space, we are going to place a half double crochet into the chain 3 space, chain 3, and a half double crochet into the chain 3 space again. And that is your corner. And then you're going to repeat what you did on the first side. 1 half double crochet into every stitch, including the chain 1 spaces. And when we get all the way up here to this last cluster and 3 double crochets, I'll meet back up with you. All right, so here we are. We're down here at our last few stitches, and we just need to repeat what we did when we started. So that is half double crochet between your last cluster and the last 3 double crochets, treating that as a chain 1 space, and half double crochet into the next 2 stitches, each of the next 2, and then 3 half double crochets into that last stitch. 1, 2, and on the third one, I'm going to bring up the purple and finish the stitch with the purple so I can start the next row in purple. All right, so here we have rows 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we're going to repeat this row. I'm going to walk you through the first row. That way you can get started on your 5 rows of Granny. So we're going to go ahead and start the Granny off just as we have in the past. We're going to 3 double crochets into that first stitch. One, 2, and 3. Place my stitch marker. And now we're going to chain 2, skip 2. So now we're on skip 2, 1, 2, and Granny into the next. So 3 double crochets into the next stitch. And that's our repeat. Down to the chain 3 space. So we're just going to skip 2. Grannies with chain 2s in between. So chain 2, skip 2, and 3 double crochets into the next. Go ahead and continue that all the way to the point, the center of the shawl, and I'll meet up with you there. Once you've made it to your point here, you'll notice you have 1 stitch remaining. We're just going to simply chain 2, skip that 1, and do our corner with a Granny. So 3 double crochets, and then chain 3 and 3 more double crochets all into the chain 3 space. Chain 1, 2, 3, and 3 more doubles. And then we're going to repeat what we did on the first side over on the second side. Chain 2. We only skip 1, and then we make our first Granny into the next. And that's because we only had one stitch remaining on this side, so we only need one stitch on this side. All right, now you're going to continue. Make sure you have the same amount of granny stitches all the way up on both sides. You're going to continue 4 more rows of granny stitch. So we're repeating this first 5 rows. Go ahead and continue that. When you have a total of 5 rows of granny stitch, I will meet back up with you and we will do our next little repeating section. All right, once you have your 5 rows of granny completed, we're now going to switch back to the pink for the next few rows for the next section. Now, again, I didn't want to cut away, so I just kind of ran a strand from this side over to that side. And the reason I keep saying I don't want to cut away is because I'm not going to continue this. Once I show you the repeats, I'm going to rip this out. So just so you know why I'm doing what I'm doing. All right, so we're going to work a chain 1. This is 5, 10, 13, 14, row 14. We're going to chain 1 and single crochet back into that first stitch. Then chain 1, skip 1, and single crochet into the next. Then chain 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to do a series of crisscross stitches. So we're going to skip the chain 2, skip the first 2 double crochet stitches, and double crochet into the last double crochet of that granny stitch. Then we're going to chain 1, and we're going to go back on the front side of this. We're going to go back 2 stitches. So skip the first one and go to the second one. And we are going to place a double crochet into that first stitch. Now chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to skip our next chain 2, and we're going to go right over to our next granny stitch, where we're going to put a single crochet in the first double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, and single crochet into the next. All right, so that is our repeat. And the reason we are working this crisscross in the front on this side of the shawl is so that way the stitch, the top stitch, lays at an angle this way. Now on the other side, we're going to switch it up and do that second stitch of the cross stitch behind the first one. So this is your repeat. We're going to work all the way down to the chain 3 space at the very bottom of the shawl, the point of the shawl. And this is your repeat. Chain 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip your chain 2. Skip the first 2 stitches of your granny stitch and double crochet into the last. Chain 1. And then we're going to skip back to that first double crochet and place a double crochet into it. Then chain 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip the next chain 2, single crochet into the first stitch of the granny stitch. Chain 1, skip 1, and single crochet into the next. And that is your repeat all the way down to our chain 3 at the point of the shawl. All right, so now we're down to the chain 3 space. We're going to place 3 single crochets into that chain 3 space. And then we repeat what we did on this side onto the other side. So I ended with the single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet. So that's where I begin. Single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet. Then chain 1, 2, 3, 4, and now the crisscross. The crisscross on your second side is done slightly different. We're still skipping the chain 2. We're skipping the first 2 stitches, and then we're jumping into the last double crochet of that granny stitch and double crocheting. We're still chaining 1. Here's where the difference is. Instead of going in front of that double crochet, we're going behind it, and we're going to catch the same stitch like the other side and double crochet in it. Now what that does is it gives it the same direction as your point. Now you can do it if you want to. You can do them all on the front side or all on the back side of that first double crochet of the crisscross stitch. Up to you, but the way I designed it is so that way this is going down towards the point on this side, and then it's going down towards the point on the other side, that front part of your crisscross. And then just repeat. Chain 1, 2, 3, 4, hop over to your next granny, single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, and then chain 1, 2, 3, 4, hop all the way over to the last double crochet of the next granny and place a double crochet, chain 1, and then we're going to go behind it, skipping the next stitch and back to the first stitch of that granny and double crochet into it, and then repeat. All right, I'm going to continue to the end. I'll meet up with you there. All right, let's move on to row 15. Row 15, we're going back to some double crochets here. So we need to place 1 double crochet into the first stitch and 2 into the chain 1 space. All right. Now we need to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to skip the chain 4 and we're going to go to the chain 1 between those double crochets. So make sure you separate them out the right direction and single crochet between them. Now we're going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to jump over to the next chain 1 space, and we're going to place 5 double crochets into that chain 1 space. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is part of your repeat here. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip the chain 4 and go right in between those double crochets and place a single crochet into the chain 1 space between them, right in the middle of that X. Now chain 1, 2, 3, 4, and skip your next chain 4 and jump over to this next chain 1 space and place 5 double crochets. Now you're going to work this all the way, that same repeat, all the way to the point of the shawl, where I'll meet up with you and help you work around the point. Here we go. All right, so when we get down here to the point, we have our 5 double crochets. We're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. So we're skipping this single crochet and the first single crochet that we put into that chain 3 space, and we're going to double crochet into the next, into the center of those 3 single crochets that we put in the last row. Now we're going to chain 1, 2, 3 again, and we're going to hop over to that chain 1 space. So we're skipping over the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, and we're going to the chain 1 space, and we're going to start again. 5 double crochets into that chain 1 space. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to hop over to the crisscross, that very next stitch of crisscross here, and we're going to single crochet to the chain 1 space of it. And that's your repeat now. So chain 1, 2, 3, 4, hop over to the chain 1 space and place 5 double crochets. Then chain 4 and hop over to your next chain 1 space, separate those crisscross and single crochet into the center, and then repeat. Go ahead and continue repeating that all the way up to the other end, and I'll meet up with you and we will begin row 16. All right, now that I'm down here at the end, we're just going to repeat what we did on the other side. We're going to place 2 double crochets into the chain 1 space and 1 double crochet into the last stitch. And now we're going to turn our work over for row 16. And row 16, we're going to place a double crochet back into that very first stitch. And now we're going to do 2 together, double crochet 2 together, the next 2 stitches. And then chain 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to place a single crochet on the first chain 4, close to that single crochet. Then we're going to chain 1 and place a single crochet on the other side of that into the next chain 4 space. Now we're going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to skip over our next group of double crochets, which is 5. So we're going to double crochet 5 together. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You will have 6 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and go through all of them and chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're on repeat. We're going to single crochet into this chain 4 space and this chain 4 space. So here's a single crochet into that chain 4 space, then chain 1, hop over to the next chain 4 space and single crochet into it. Then chain 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're back to doing a double crochet 5 together. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 6 loops on our hook. Yarn over and go through all 6 and chain 4 and repeat. Now I'll meet up with you when we get to the point, and I'll show you how to get through the point of the shawl for row 16. So I'm down here at the point, and we're just going to continue the same pattern. I've chained 4. I'm going to single crochet into the chain 3 space, chain 1, hop over the next stitch, and single crochet to the next chain 3 space. So there's still that chain 1. Then I'm going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and continue on. Double crochet 5 together, and then the chain 4, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, and continue on. So go ahead and continue the rest of row 16, and I'll meet up with you for row 17. All right, so we're down here at the end of the row, and we're going to do a double crochet 2 together. So there's 1 and 2. And then we're going to put 1 double crochet into that very last stitch. Now that's how we are going to complete it, because that's how we started it. All right. Now let's move on to the next row. The next row is going to be a repeat of that first row in pink that we did here. So we're going to chain 1, single crochet back into that stitch. Then we're going to chain 1 and single crochet into the chain 4 space. Now for this first space here where you have the chain 1, we're going to create the X, and we're going to be creating the X into that single crochet and this single crochet. So chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, double crochet in the second single crochet, chain 1, then reach back and double crochet into the first single crochet from the row below. And then chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that's how it should look. All right, now we're going to work a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet. We're going to single crochet into the chain 4 space right next to that double crochet 5 together, chain 1, and hop over to the opposite side, the very next chain 4 space, and single crochet. And then we're on repeat. Chain 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to skip over the first single crochet, over the chain 1, and work into the second single crochet. We're placing a double crochet into it, then chain 1, and then we're going to work back into the first single crochet. So skip back to it and place a double crochet. Then chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we're going to place a single crochet into the chain 4 space, chain 1, hop over your 5 together double crochet cluster there, and place a single crochet into the following chain 4 space. And that's your repeat. We're going to repeat this all the way to the point of our shawl down here. And I'll meet up with you down here at this point and show you what to do there to round that corner. All right, so I've come down here to the point. I've chained 4. I'm going to place a double crochet into the chain 1 space, chain 3, and another double crochet into the chain 1 space. So we just made a chain 3 V-stitch right there in the point. And now I'm going to simply chain 1, 2, 3, 4, and start working up the other side. Same thing, except instead of the second part of your crisscross going in the front, you're going to do it in the back. So chain 1 and single crochet on the other side of that cluster. Chain 1, 2, 3, 4. skip over to the second single crochet and place a double crochet, chain 1, and then we're going to crisscross but from behind, just like that. All right, and then chain 1, 2, 3, 4, and repeat. Single crochet next to the cluster, chain 1, hop over that cluster, and single crochet into the chain 4 space on the other side. And continue your repeat all the way to the end, and I'll meet up with you at the end. All right, so now we're on repeat of these 17 rows, and I'm going to show you how to begin with your first repeat of the granny, the 5 rows of grannies. I'm going to walk you through all the way down to the point and show you how to do the point. Then you can carry on from that point on your own, repeating 5 rows of granny, then these 3 in pink, and then those, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 rows in pink here. And then you pick back up on the granny and repeat. So we're going to start with 3 double crochets into your first stitch. All right, now we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to hop over and we're going to work into the chain 1 space of that crisscross stitch, and we're going to place a granny stitch. So 1, 2, and 3 double crochets. Now we're going to chain 1 and 2, and we're going to hop over to the next chain 1 space, which is above that cluster there. And we're going to put a granny. So 1, 2, and 3 double crochets. Then chain 2 and repeat. Place a granny into the chain 1 space of the crisscross. So in all the chain 1 spaces to the point, we're putting a granny stitch. In between your granny stitches are 2 chains. Just like such. All right, so go ahead and continue that all the way down here to the point, and I will meet up with you to show you how to turn your corner, and then you can continue on your own. All right, so now we're down here at the point. I've chained 2. I'm skipping that chain 4, and I'm going to work into this chain 3 space of the point, and I'm going to do a granny stitch of 3 double crochets. Then I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3, and another granny stitch of 3 double crochets into that same chain 3 space. Just like that. Now, if you notice that your tension is a lot tighter than mine, and you can go up a hook size, and it helps a lot, or you can just add an extra chain in between your grannies. You could do a chain 3 instead of a chain 2. That is your repeats. You've got granny, you've got this design, you've got granny, you've got this design, and then you repeat. So when doing this, you can repeat it as many times as you so choose. As I said, it is a very deep shawl. So instead of going straight across like that, it actually curves, which I like better because it does lay around your shoulders and hang on your shoulders a whole lot better. All right, so the trim is completely optional, and I'm ending this shawl with granny stitch in order to add the trim. If you want to leave it with that being your last repeat and don't add any more granny and don't add the trim, that's completely and entirely up to you. But I'm going to show you how I did the trim. So I'm going to work into this first stitch here, just one double crochet. Just right there, one double crochet. Then I'm going to work into the center stitch. I'm going to work 2 double crochets, chain 3, 2 double crochets, all into that center stitch. Just like that. All right, now we're going to hop over and work into the center double crochet of the next granny stitch and do the same thing. We're going to work 2 double crochets, chain 3, and 2 double crochets all into that stitch. There we are, just like that. Now you're going to go ahead and work that in every granny, every center double crochet of every granny, all the way down to this point. Now when we get to the point, I'll show you how to turn the corner. All right, so we are down here at the chain 3 space of our corner. I worked into that last granny of the first side. Now all you're going to do is work that same stitch repeat that we've been doing in each of the grannies. We're going to do that right into this corner. So we're going to do 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, and then chain 1, 2, 3. And 2 more double crochets, all into that chain 3 space of the turning the corner. And then you just simply start over again, working into the center double crochet of each granny, all the way up the other side, the exact same way that you did here. So I'm going to pull out a loop right quick there. And we're going to switch over to the pink yarn. I'm going to go back to the beginning. So we're going to treat this as if you worked all the way up the other side. And you've come to the end of the row, and we're going to do our last edge repeat now. All right, so we made it all the way to the end, and we worked 1 double crochet into our very last stitch to replicate the beginning of the row. And now we're going to, I'm picking up the pink so that way you can see what I'm doing here. And I'm going to chain 1 and single crochet back into that very first stitch. Then I'm going to chain 3. This is chain 3s and single crochets. So chain 1, 2, 3. We're going to skip over to our chain 3 space and single crochet to it. Then chain 1, 2, 3 and single crochet back into that chain 3 space. Then chain 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to single crochet in between these 2 double crochets and these 2 double crochets. So right in between them. pretend that there's a chain 1 space there. There we go. And that's your repeat all the way around, including the corner. When you go around the corner, you're going to do the exact same thing. So chain 1, 2, 3, and single crochet to the chain 3 space. Chain 1, 2, sliding off my hook, 3, and single crochet back to that chain 3 space, and chain 1, 2, 3. Does not like chain 3. We're going to skip over 1, 2 and single crochet in between those 2 and the next 2. Just go right in between them and continue on. That is your last and final row for the shawl. All right, everyone. So that's it for me. Be blessed, be a blessing, and until next time, bye for now.